T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time,
Big time.
Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of signs. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Just running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me.
Big time.
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me.
Big time. Number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Tuesday edition of the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. Ty Bartell joins us. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity since we kicked him off for ruining Trivia Tuesday. Quinn Pushkar in the house as well. Jeff is, well, I think he's in Hawaii, at least judging by his shirt. We got Billy Mack and we got EB. The gang's all here, minus Paul Munson. Today was first day of school for Paul, so welcome back to school, Paul. I hope you keep your grades up this year.
Paul's in the doghouse.
It is National Waffle Day, gentlemen. So tell me how you take them waffles. Jeffrey, quit rubbing your belly and whatever else you're touching. Tell us how you like your waffles.
My waffle has to have syrup at every single hole, and it needs to sit for at least 5 minutes, and then douse it in whipped cream.
What do you do for that 5 minutes while the syrup?
I usually order something else, like a little bit of sausage biscuits and gravy and a little bacon, and then I eat that and let that sit.
Explains everything about Jeff Bezos. Just carbs. Give them all of them. All of the carbs.
Okay.
Bezos is not amused.
I love it. That's the best way to only eat a waffle is put it in
every
syrup.
crevice.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Syrup.
I will use a whole one. I asked the lady at IHOP the one time, bring me more syrup because it ran out. He's like, sir, there's like 4 holes missing. I said, no, damn it.
Could you drink maple syrup if you had to, like on Super Troopers?
No.
Sounds
That
like
would
you
be
wouldn't
fun
be
to
far.
try.
Look
Like,
at that.
I would-
Hold your left wrist up. Look at that watch tan.
Yeah, it's bad. I forgot to take it off during the golf trip this weekend. So
Nice play, buddy.
ain't
Nice
good.
play. Mac, how about you in the waffles?
What a white waffles.
Normal,
Okay, I still like
normal waffles will be just fine. I'm probably more of a pancake guy than a waffle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So is it like maple
but I
syrup?
don't like load up. Like I'm on the anti carbs right now, so I'm the reverse of Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, you need to do that.
Great comeback there, jackass.
Good God. Yeah, you need to lay off those carbs, dang it.
My gosh, EB, help us out.
I'm kind of a typical waffle, like regular waffle, but I'm kind of with Betos. One, it needs to have butter on it, and then also you need to try to. I don't make sure I get syrup in every little hole or crevice, but the majority of it, it's a must, and they can't be like fluffy waffles. They gotta have a little crisp to it or a little crunch.
Where was that was a waffle place we saw the other night when we were out, was it not? Honey waffle or something like that?
Yeah. What was it? We were out at Firestone. It was like honeybee waffle or something like that.
That's one I want to try. I want to try that for sure because I've never had honey on a waffle. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's always been syrup or fruit syrup or whatever, and then the whipped cream. That's how I like my waffles. Although I'm a blueberry waffle guy when it comes down to it. Like if I have to choose between blueberry waffles and regular waffles, I'm blueberry all day, twice a day. Ty, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, just stole my thunder with that. That's what I was gonna go with. And I mean, you got to get the fruit in the diet as well. That way, you can convince yourself it's healthy. Decent amount of syrup on the blueberry waffle. I don't know if I like to fill my waffle hole to the brim with syrup, but I like to throw a little bit of waffle syrup on there.
Q?
No, it's just smothered in butter and syrup. That's it.
I like it. Well,
No better way.
Happy National Waffle Day to all of you out there. I hope you were able to enjoy blueberry waffles. That's where it's at, man. There's nothing better. Although strawberry waffles, I'm a fruit waffle guy. Fruit, pancake, all that stuff. Give me that stuff.
You ever see those videos with strawberries where they put like salt in the water and then they put strawberries in there and then you see all these bugs and insects coming out?
Yeah.
After I'd seen that video, I've never ate another strawberry, and I probably won't ever do it again. You're welcome.
You can get scammed really easy then. That's not true.
What was that,
Okay.
Jeff?
It said there's like no bugs in it. There's no bugs coming out of strawberries. They say they're dirty, like you should do that. That cleans them. But I've watched like 8 videos that says it's false.
So like strawberries aren't in the ground and there's no bugs in the ground?
I'm
What
not
about potatoes? I mean, if you're not going to eat any vegetables.
They're a
Strawberries are plants.
bush. They're not a carrot, Billy.
Yeah,
Have you ever grown a strawberry, William?
Nope.
Said, what are you gonna do when the strawberries are on the ground?
I kind of believed him that he was right for like. I'm like, okay, I believe him. I'm not gonna say wrong.
Greg Burbick says a few bugs never hurt anyone.
No.
Never again.
That's fine. More strawberries for me, man. I'll tell you what. You probably won't like blueberries either, or mango, or pineapple.
Well, I like blueberries. I've never seen a video of it. Bugs coming out of them.
We need to make a video so he doesn't eat any more.
No, I don't need to see a video. I'm good now. As long as I don't see it, I'm good. I already saw the strawberry one, so it's axed out. 86 that.
All right, that is the national celebration for today. So happy National Waffle Day to you. It's time for our Would You Rather segment, brought to you by our friends over at Baird Brothers Fine Hard Wood. And the question today is, would you rather have one exceptional non-sport talent or be a slightly above average athlete? This is interesting. Again, would you rather have one exceptional non-sport talent or be a slightly above average athlete? EB, Jeff doesn't understand it, so break it down for me.
I'd probably go Above average athlete. Above average athlete still gets you a lot of places. I mean, above average athlete can still get you into college.
Slightly above average.
All right. Well, I mean, slightly above average can still get you into college. It can still get you playing at a collegiate level if that's the route you choose. And above average or slightly above average, you're still going to be better than the majority.
Okay, fair enough. Mac, how about you?
For whatever reason, I just keep thinking that. You ever seen the movie or the TV show Criminal Minds?
Yeah.
The guy who has like that photographic memory. I want that. That's what I want. Because I can just absorb knowledge to no end. Like, I remember watching this guy on that show just like read a book in like 10 seconds. Like, just got it. I got it. Next. Got it. I think that would be amazing.
That'd be fun. It'd be big time responsibility. Jeff, would you like to?
And I would use it for evil.
That's weird. Okay. Let's not give you that talent, because I feel like that is not good. Not good for the United States. I can guarantee you that.
What would Jeff? What would you rather have? One exceptional non-sport talent, or be slightly above average as an athlete?
One exceptional non-sport talent. So, like, I want to be able to drink like 1,000 beers in a day and never get hungover. And I want to be able to be like on the Beer Olympics team and just like own it and be like, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you very much, Joey Chestnut. How you doing? You guys keep it.
Would you keep the mustache?
Oh yeah, all day. Mustache would look even cooler at that point.
You probably get the Jeff Bezos Memorial Trophy for that.
Bye, Mom.
Nick chiming in said, I would rather play the piano when I got older than try to throw a football. I can pick up a lot more women sitting and playing the piano and singing them a song than throwing a football in the backyard. Our guy Nick.
That's a big fact, though. That is a big fact,
man. Listen, a guitar around a campfire, and it's not heavy. You don't have to push it like upstairs and stuff. Like I'm with you on a guitar. Guitar around a campfire. If you're not already married, you probably easily could be after it's all said and done.
Or just run the table in beer pong, and chicks will love you even more.
No chicks worth marrying are at the beer pong table, Jeffrey.
You never know. You might find Mrs. Right.
Didn't some girl just break up with you because you drink too much?
Maybe, maybe not. Hey, Paul's in the gym. Hey, Paul.
Paul's in
What's
the
up,
gym.
fellas?
Weight room. Woo!
You clanging and banging.
We got some guys out here getting better for the season. So.
Oh.
Okay. Jeez, all right. Oh, he's about to bench. Paul, are you about to bench right now?
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm about to bench.
All right, go ahead, dude.
There we go.
Go ahead. We'll put it on live.
Come on, bud.
Yeah, I'm good.
Quinn, would you rather have one exceptional non-sport talent or be slightly above average athlete?
I'll take the athlete route. Just being a sports guy, I'd rather be a kind of decent athlete for the first time in my life. Maybe I'd be able to finish the 40. So
you only have 37 yards to go. Still ticking.
3 yards a year.
Ty, how about you?
We'll go a little bit off of the athlete thing. I do the exceptional talent, and my exceptional talent, though it might sound a little bit boring, I'd have extreme patience. So that way, no matter what came across me, I'll wait it out. I can wait it out. I got time for it. Nothing phases me anymore after that. Nothing else would get me angry. I got time.
You already have one, Tom.
Yeah. You have the thing Billy described.
Yeah, you kick all our ass and
I have a lot of knowledge. I don't have a lot of patience. There's a difference. I might know a lot of things. I might have a lot of knowledge. I don't have a whole lot of patience.
Can you read a book in 10 seconds? Do you basically have the superpower Billy's looking for?
Yeah, I don't have quite that power though. I wish I had that power though. Be able to, but I am pretty close. If I could read something once, I usually am pretty good at remembering it. I can't flip through a whole book now and read it in 10 seconds.
You know what I'm exceptional at? I'm exceptional at buying books that I'll never read. Like, I'm like, oh, this looks awesome. And then, no, my wife's like, stop buying books. You're not reading them at all. Like, you're not even making an attempt to read them. So, Yeah, I mean, I could have the powers Billy's talking about, like Kate said, and still just be like, yeah, screw it. It's too much time. 10 seconds is too much time for me. Paul, how about you? Would you rather have one exceptional non-sport talent or be slightly above average as an athlete?
I'd rather have the non-sport talent. Just because, I mean, I like how Nick, talks about being able to play the piano. I mean, that's something like that would be pretty awesome to do, because you can literally go anywhere and sit down and play a piano and people are impressed by it. I mean, I remember when I was at YSU and we were on a trip. We were down at Morgantown, we were in Marshall. We were at Marshall playing the Thundering Herd, and there was a piano in the foyer there at the hotel in the lobby, and one of the players came down and he just started playing it, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, we didn't know you could do that." And he goes, "Yeah, I've been playing piano since I was 5." Like, just to be able to do something like that would be awesome, and people are thoroughly impressed.
Do you have any tricks like that? Do you have any party tricks?
No, not really. I got some card tricks. That'd be about it.
52 card pickup?
No, I got a couple, yeah, that's always a good one. But no, I got some card tricks. That'd be about it. But no, to be able to sit there and do that, play an instrument, be able to memorize something, that'd be kind of cool.
I'm with you. Is there one that you would particularly want, Paul? Like, other than playing the piano, like one that you're like, man, that'd be the one.
An incredible memory would be nice. There's way too many times I'm like, hey, somebody comes up, hey, Paul, how's it going? And yeah, and I forget your name. I don't know who you are. And
if you write a lot of term papers, you get a better memory. That's what I took from Ty. You write a lot of term papers, you get a better memory.
Because you remember to turn them in on time. Somebody's clanging and banging in that South Range locker room. I could hear it.
Yeah.
Tell them to quiet down.
Baseball
study
guys.
hall.
Yeah. Oh, no, study hall was in gym all day, so.
Dude, wreck the bench out, Paul. Come on. Show the boys how it's done.
Jeff, why are you trying to call me? Do you think I was on my phone?
Well, Billy thought you were on your phone, so I was going to.
Yeah, I outsmarted you guys.
Can confirm playing guitar and singing doesn't help you when you look like you got hit with a brick. All right. Coach Seidel with the Tuesday motivation. That has been your Baird Brothers Would You Rather, brought to you by our friends over at BairdBrothers.com. Visit them on the web today and make sure that you tell them YSN sent you. Baird Brothers, proud sponsors of YSN since day one, here as a corporate sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk sports, and I got to believe we got something to talk about because the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 are forming an alliance that basically means absolutely nothing. It means that they're going to play each other a little bit more in football and basketball, but basically they're trying to give the big FU to the SEC, and the SEC says, meh. We stole a couple of the teams. We're making the Super Conference in the SEC, in the Big Ten comes back with this. Are you impressed with this? I think it's stupid. I'm just going to start it off there. I think it's dumb because they're still going to steal each other's players. It means absolutely nothing. This alliance means nothing. It'll be over in 3 years. Ty, you just got done talking about with Anthony. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, just to kind of recap what it is, and the fact that it doesn't go into effect until years from now anyway, so it's going to be all pretty forgetful pretty quickly anyway. But, I mean, I feel like if you want to try to go up against the SEC, this is the right step to take, but I feel like it's going to mean nothing because they're not going to take the right course of action. Because if Ohio State is going to take the right course of action, because let's be honest, it's the big teams and these big conferences that care about it the most. If Ohio State was caring about the SEC forming a super conference, you either join the SEC or if you're going to bring in the ACC and Pac-12, you better be scheduling Clemson in the top teams and going for toughest competition. If not doing that, and you're just going to have your cupcake schedule and then play the same old Big Ten teams, I think that the SEC isn't going to pay much attention to it and really care. And I don't really think this is something that really phases the SEC at all. I really don't think they care about it.
Quinn, does this excite you at all?
No, not at all. I mean, it's whatever. It's just teams joining alliances for no reason. It's not going to do anything. I mean, if you're a top recruit, you're going to go to one of the top schools. It doesn't matter.
Paul, did you hear about this yet? What's your first thought?
Yeah, I mean, like Ty was saying, I mean, it's not going in place for. I was just reading up about it. 22 to 35. between those years is when they're going to start doing some scheduling between each other between 2022 and 2035. Like, I mean, listen, they're just trying to like make it so that the games that they're playing are a little more meaningful. Because sometimes you're playing an Indiana, or you're playing, a Purdue that, if you're Ohio State, that's not that good. So if you can cross over and say, well, hey, we're going to go play USC, or we're going to go over and we're going to play, Clemson. You're going to try to schedule some bigger games, and so those smaller teams are going to say, well, hey, now we're going to go schedule like a North Carolina, and we're going to go schedule those other smaller teams and those other different, just to be a little more competitive. But I mean, if that's what they want to do, let them go do it. I mean, if they're saying they're trying to do that to compete with the SEC, I mean, I think that's kind of stupid, because then you're kind of like, oh, the three of us are going to bully up on you. The SEC is so cocky anyway; they don't give a shit. They're going to say we're still the SEC. But the bad thing is, and something I've not talked about in a while, but like the thing that upsets me a lot of times is the SEC is put that way because of the writers and all this preseason crap. Because when you put 8 of their teams in the top 25, then when you're playing those teams, it looks better that, oh, I'm playing the number 18th ranked, Texas A&M team, or they're all preseason ranked higher than they should be, because that's how they keep that conference relatable. And I think it's stupid. I don't like the preseason rankings. I hate them.
Billy, do you like this at all, being that you're a big Ohio State fan and Ohio State is basically the Big Ten?
I don't think it affects Ohio State at all. I think Ohio State is the cream of the crop when you talk about all three of those conferences, and any team in there. Ohio State's going to be a team that's always going to be preseason ranked, as Paul says, early, the top 10 at least. You gotta imagine, outside of a huge fall off, but take Ohio State out of it. I think it's really good. I think what it hurts the SEC is their non-conference games when they decide to go out. Is it an alliance to say, hey, we're not going to play SEC schools, because then the SEC has to go just inside their conference, which is a good topic for, how they're going to play 12 regular season games. They're all conference games. Is that something that they're going to look forward to, or they're going to have to go to like the WAC or something like that? Or, like Alabama's going to have to keep playing them cream puff schools, those Youngstown State and other small schools, Kent State. I think it's good for teams like Purdue, like Michigan, like Penn State, that they could play North Carolina, who's probably a tier 2 school in football. They can go out west and play Utah. I think it's really good for like the tier below Ohio State, USC. I think it's really good for the whatever will be left of the Big 12, because they're basically, their champion has basically left them, both of them, Texas and Oklahoma. So there's really nothing left. Now the Big 12 is basically just that old Midwest conference that used to be around in the 90s. So it's really good for them. It benefits them more than anybody else in this alliance. But I think it's good. I think it'll be good. The problem is why they have to push it back so far is because college football is just weird when it comes to scheduling. Like Ohio State has Alabama on their schedule in like 5 years. They have Notre Dame the next 2 years after this year. So they have Tennessee in that mix. So you got to let all those teams kind of go, their schedules go away. And then they could start to prepare to play this alliance schedule.
All right, EB, your thoughts?
I'm not going to say I like it, because there's really not much to like about it, other than I agree with BMAC, what he said on a couple of things when it comes to scheduling, because now you kind of paint the SEC in the corner to where if you're the Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC, and your out of conference games are all going to be within each other. Now you only give options like Alabama or LSU to go play the Citadel, and then some of these D1AA or these small D1A schools, to where it gives you a chance to sit there and say, well, we're playing Power 5 conference teams, they're playing the cream puffs. And Sigler said some stuff as far as ESPN having the rights to SEC and whatnot. I really don't know much about that to touch on it, but if it's to block the college football playoff, then if this is what you're doing, you're forming alliances to block or dictate how things are going to go, then your college football playoff is more flawed than what you really think it is. So I like it for the teams like Indiana to where they get to go play, in North Carolina, or, even if you have, we'll say like Indiana last year was a pretty decent team. They were a good team in the Big Ten. And if they get to go play, Clemson and they knock off a Clemson, but then they lose to Ohio State, now you're kind of in a different conversation where you take someone like a Wisconsin who's generally, in the Big Ten championship game and they go beat a USC and then an Oregon or something like that. You can change a little bit of the narrative as far as that goes because you're controlling some of your out of conference. But it's kind of like I feel like it's just their counter move to, Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12. So is there anything to like about it? I mean, not really. It's just kind of, it's blah. That's what it is. It's like, okay, great, you guys did something, but what'd you really do?
I think it'd be great if they took, like, if you just played five regular season games against your conference teams and then played your other 6 against 2 from each conference. That would be something that would be pretty.
I think the best thing you do is you take the United States, whatnot, and you split it up into quadrants. 4 quadrants. You have your Northeast, Southeast, Northwest, Southwest, and whatever your Division I teams are, you play within that. And then, you kind of have pools. And in those pools, if you play 4 or 3 pool games and you're the 4th team, you go 3-0. So that puts you first place in Pool A, Pool B, and then you do that. So that's going to be 4 or 5 weeks right there. And then you get straight into a playoff game. You get into a playoff to where you win, you survive, you advance. That takes you down into, a 12 or 13 week, season. If you lose or however your polls are set up, then you can go and you can play whatever your divisions are or however you line up in your poll. So if you get second, you play all the second place teams. And it still gives you an opportunity to sit there and have your bowl games, because now your bowl games, because we have 167 of those now, can still name or play into different bowl games that way.
Jeffrey, your thoughts on this?
I'm going to go opposite of everybody else. I think it's a good thing because, you get to see,
real opposite of everybody else there, Jeff. Wow. Like, are you on the show today?
I am. Shut up, Billy. I'm just saying, I just think the SEC just won't care. I think they're going to look at this and laugh at it because it's still the cream of the crop of college football. It's literally the best conference in college football, hands year in and year out. That's why they get 8 or 9 teams ranked in the top 25. I think it helps the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 out by maybe you can get the Pac-12 more TV, more TV time, because again they start at 10:30 at night. When they played Ohio State a couple years ago or a while ago, they were on ABC and it was on a primetime night. It was on Saturday night. It was a big game, and it was 7:00 here in whatever time in 3 hours from 7:00. Not going to do the math, but you get it.
4?
But
4 hours?
Yeah, 3. Is it a 3?
It's 3, but it'd be 4:00 if you're watching it.
Well, yeah. So it's 4:00 there. So it might help that out by getting that
Tough
Pac-12 more notoriety, and obviously Billy says the cream of the crop is the USC in the Pac-12. I will highly disagree. USC sucks. It would probably be like Oregon, and you want to be famous by following a premium, and viewers by buying followers.
That's primes, Jeff. That's
Big.
not premium.
Who cares? It's still the same.
Can you please read that one more time?
Want to become famous by followers, primes, and viewers on byfollowers.spacecom.
No.
Big followers.
Big followers, Jeff.
B-I-G.
Big.
B-I-G. P-O. P.
Yeah.
I can't read. Nuh-uh. No way.
Yeah. Sentences don't make sense to me. That's why they call me Jeffrey.
I hope you get You know what,
Oh,
Paul?
here
I hope you
comes-
pull your knee out.
Here
I already
comes.
did that once. It doesn't matter.
Here comes the violence, the verbal violence.
Willie, I hope your car doesn't start and your back hurts tomorrow morning. Nothing too bad. Nothing too bad.
How long do you think it takes Jeff to read 10 pages?
I have not.
An
To be
hour.
honest with you, I haven't read 10 pages in like 10 years.
I was gonna say, how long has it been since you read 10 pages of something?
I read a whole page today. It took me 45 minutes.
What was it?
It was about
A menu.
COVID. It was about COVID protocol.
For work.
Yeah, for
It
work.
was about It was about green eggs and ham.
Waffles, $3.95. Oh, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this, and we'll talk. Will the NCAA even matter in when this is all said and done? Will it even matter that there is a governing body over top of these conferences? But first, we're gonna tell you quickly about the 5 games that are on the network tonight. All volleyball. We'll have the East Liverpool at Salem game. I'll have the coverage. That is the Kent State Classic. So we'll have some special interviews during that game. Gary Altizer as Wellsville at East Palestine. We'll have that coverage from you live from Bulldogtown, USA. Girard versus Lakeview. Anthony Hartwig will have that. Southern at Lisbon. Rick Daly will be on the call. And we'll have video-only coverage of Jefferson at Poland. So all of this coverage coming at you live on the network tonight. 5 games to choose from. Volleyball nowhere else has you covered like a blanket other than YSN. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more after this on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by these great sponsors. Come see one of the Valley's hidden gems. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on the Berlin Lake Golf Club is the perfect place for fellowship, fame, food, and fun. Check out our daily specials and ask about memberships. The Back Nine Bar and Grill on Hartzell Road in North Benton.
We are there in your community. Small business owners, mechanics, police officers, homemakers. And we are there serving our nation in the Air Force Reserve. When medical emergencies arise, in cybersecurity, when natural disasters happen, we are there in space. We are Reserve Citizen Airmen, and we are there with over 180 different jobs to serve your country. Air Force Reserve.
Working with your family can be stressful at times. But because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense, to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley and a few of my friends with you on this Tuesday. Gentlemen, before we left, we wanted to ask the question, will the NCAA be able to survive this? Does it even matter? The question is, will the NCAA survive all of this drama between the conferences, and do they even matter anymore? Let's kick it over to Jeff so you can start us off.
No, I don't think it's not going to matter. The NCAA hasn't mattered for a while because conference has been. You look at it last year where, conferences were trying to play and then go to do it on their own. The SEC was trying to do it on their own if the NCAA wasn't going to allow football. So I just think that the NCAA won't exist in the next 4 or 5 years, and that's how it's going to be. They're going to have 2 big conferences, I think, at the end of the day.
I like it. Ty, how about you? What are your thoughts on will the NCAA survive this?
I mean, there's no doubt that they're going to be able to survive. I mean, the NCAA is going to be the devil that gets its money at the end of the day, no matter what. But I think to go along with the fact that they've opened it up the gates and Pandora's box by allowing college athletes to earn money. Now they already murkied the waters with that, and now adding the fact that there's potential of having a super conference now, which it already looks like there's going to be. It looks just to be play for bad football in all the other conferences other than the SEC going forward, because that's where most of the players, big name players, are going to go, because that's where they're going to be able to make the most money too, with name, likeness, and image. So I think it has the potential to go forward, and you only see good football within the SEC and some really bad college football everywhere else.
Quinn?
Yeah, it'll survive. It'll be fine. I mean, even with that super conference, that's where they're going to make even more money than what they already do, and that's all they care about is making money. So they'll find a way. Always will.
Doesn't sound like anybody we know here locally, does it? Just trying to make money off of governing body? I don't know. Paul, NCAA, good, bad?
It's not going to matter to them. The rich get richer. To have a super conference, and then the ACC and Big Ten and all them joining up doing things too. Like everybody said, it's just more money for them to make, because now they can market the different teams and different conferences. It's not going to make a big deal to them. And, I don't know if this is going to ruin college football. I think if anything, you'll see your smaller schools get hurt, if anything, because they're not going to get the big market games, the big ticket games, where when you have these bigger conferences, the bigger teams aren't going to want to play the smaller teams, because what's it going to be for them? They don't care. Unless they're forced to play them in their league for a league championship, they're not going to care. They're not going to, if Ohio State has to go play Purdue because to win a Big Ten championship, they're going to do it. But if they don't have to play Purdue to go and win conference championships and or national championships, they're not going to do it. And it hurts those smaller schools now, because instead of you having that home game against Ohio State or an Alabama, then you're not going to get good gates. So it doesn't. The NCAA, again, they're sitting there going, you guys do whatever you're going to do. You still got to play in our league, because we're still the NCAA and you're still under our umbrella. We're still going to get our money, so we don't care.
Mac, your thoughts?
I think it's potentially hurtful to the NCAA. I could see the SEC just basically dropping the title of NCAA and creating their own version of it, and just being by themselves. If they feel that type of way, where, hey, we could do things a little bit better, we don't need the NCAA, and if they have enough schools in their conference to do so. My only concern with that theory is, you look at some of the lesser teams in the SEC, if they're not competing and they're just getting pummeled week in and week out throughout the sports, the three main sports, at least, with football, basketball, and then just let's say baseball. Baseball is not really a revenue sport, but if they can't recruit those guys because Oklahoma and Texas and some of these other schools coming in are stealing their players, would they be willing to leave the SEC to go play in an environment where they can deem themselves more competitive? That would be interesting to me.
I like that. I like that a lot. EP, your thoughts?
I mean, I can see your non-revenue sports kind of branching out and getting away from the NCAA, sort of like Max said, to jump in, form your own league to maybe where you can create your own revenue. But NCAA is not going to go anywhere. They're going to eventually backtrack or put a cap on this player likeness or whatnot. I think right now, all they're doing is they're just kind of sitting back. They're going to see how much some of these kids are making, and they're going to sit there and turn around and be like, well, you're making so much money off of your name, but you're also playing in the NCAA or our organization. So we need 20% of it. They're going to find a way.
NCAA tax, baby.
Yeah, they're going to find a way to get money out of it. I mean, talk about the most perfect freaking business structure in the world. Your labor is free. You don't pay taxes, and you really have two sports that bring in 95% of your revenue. between basketball and football, that's all the NCAA really truly needs to survive. And they're just going to sit back there. They're going to sit there and watch these kids, dude from Alabama who's made $1 million, hasn't even played a snap yet. And, next year they're going to be like, all right, well, you made $1 million, we need 20% of it. And then they're going to go on down and do that through everyone else because it's going to be an association fee or some stupid shit that they're going to come up with. And, last year they kind of washed their hands of everything with COVID because they didn't know what to do and they were waiting for someone to tell them what to do. OHSAA. But they'll impose their will one way or another here in the next 2 or 3 years.
All right, so here's the craziest question of all of this. All right, so we're seeing this happen in the college ranks, and how often do we see something that gets, copied, a little carbon copy from the college ranks down to high school? Are we going to start to see these leagues? Because we were seeing conferences already kind of flex their muscles a little bit. Are we going to start seeing alliances in conferences around let's say just Ohio, for example? Could you see an alliance between the MVAC, the NE8, and the EOAC that they're going to do interconference battles with their football and basketball schedules?
I think they could do it more basketball than football. That would probably be something we would see a little bit easier structure-wise with basketball than football, just because of the number of games that you play.
Because I think the biggest thing for me is you look at some of these schedules, most of these MVAC schedules, the one tier plays the other tier, right? In their non-conference schedule. So it's really interesting to me because I think the MVAC is doing an outstanding job of putting together their non-conference schedules with people and teams that are in the other conference, so to speak, in the other tier. So when you look at that, does that make more sense? And is there space for? I mean, the NE8 to me is one of the most powerful conferences in all of Northeast Ohio and their conference, because you have Poland, you have South, you got schools of all different sizes that are competing, and it's a bloodbath, especially in football for that 7 weeks. Could you see someone like the NE8 forming an alliance with 2 other conferences elsewhere and saying, hey, we want to beef up our schedule for those first 3 conference games? And, especially with these points now being back into effect, do you think that's something we could see possibly down the road, Paul?
I mean, I don't see like the NE8 going with the MVAC for the simple fact that you're looking at different. I mean, yeah, the NE8's got 2, maybe 3 different divisions in it. Your Division 5, Division 3, and maybe 4. I mean, maybe 3, maybe it's just 4 and 5. But jumping all the way down to playing Division 6 or Division 7 schools, like some of the MVAC schools are, the bigger schools are going to say, why does that benefit us? It doesn't benefit us to go play some of those smaller schools. I could see them maybe going the other way, going to where Salem's at in the West Branch, playing into that league, with East Canton and Canton South. Going to that league, because those are some bigger schools. And, the travel could be a little bit of an issue. That's why I like a lot of when it was the ITCL, it kind of started to break up because schools didn't want to travel far. But if you're going to maybe combine with a league like that and say, hey, listen, our first 3, non-league games are going to be, we're going to compete with you guys, sort of like when the ACC and Big Ten do their Big Ten Challenge, so kind of crossing over, doing something like that. I don't see it going the other way with playing some of the smaller schools. The smaller schools are going to want to love it sometimes if they know they've got a good team and they upset somebody and they're going to like those points, but they're not going to agree to it because they're going to say, why are we going to get our butts kicked in these 3 first games just because we're sisters with this other conference? So
yeah, it's an interesting concept. I like it. I like what the MVAC is doing. I don't think they ever really announced it that they were doing this, but you look at, some of these teams playing, the other tier or whatever they're calling it. I forget. We're not supposed to call them something. It's something we're not supposed to call them. Divisions or whatever. I don't know. But everybody calls them tiers, right? So I would say that when the scarlet and gray tier play each other, it's very, very interesting to me, because then you get a good idea of, hey, this is the team to beat in this tier, and this is the team to beat in this tier. I still think they should meet up. I think that they should meet up for a championship, but there's no way to put that into a schedule and then go to the playoffs. Matt says that he has no inside information. Divisions, not tiers. Sorry. I have no inside information, but I have said that I can see the MVAC adding another division. What do you think about that?
I mean, there's really no reason not to add like the EAOC, like
EOAC, yeah,
or whatever. Yeah, why wouldn't you? One, it's a lot of your out of conference games anyways, and then even in basketball or these other sports, that's like the first division or first schools you call when you're looking for out of league because they're generally fairly close. Like Palestine and Springfield are 5 miles away,
right?
And such and such is like I think those two. It just makes sense for them just to be one big.
Listen, if Springfield's calling East Palestine, I don't think anybody's answering the phone.
A lot of that creates the district too. Like the MVAC and EOAC are pretty much district teams too.
But
so when I was coaching in the AC, what was it, the AAC, and they had the 3 tiers. A lot of those coaches hated the 3-tier system where you were forced to play one team up, and then you didn't have the influence that you wanted, or when you had a good team, you had to go play a really bad team that was up, or vice versa. If you were really bad, you had to go play Harding or something, a Fitch or something like that. I know a lot of coaches didn't like the idea of being forced to play inside those 3 tiers, and you have to play up, you have to play 1 up, you have to play 2 down or something like that. I forget exactly how it would work, but I know that a lot of those schools got away from that AAC because they didn't like the 3 divisions, the 3 tiers, whatever you want to call them. They didn't like it, and that was why when Coach said that, he goes, maybe there's adding another tier at some point is kind of mind-blowing to me because they got away from that. They wanted to get out of that. They wanted to have their own thing, and they didn't want to do the tier system no more.
I mean, I think the MVAC, they're kind of in a unique spot because they can go north and grab people, they can go west and grab people, and they can go south and grab people, or they could grab 2 or 3 from all around and redistrict. I mean, I think a great one, DJ, you brought this up, would be the NE8 and EBC. Like just from girls basketball standpoint, playing South Range, playing Poland, playing some of those teams. It's nice because they're not rivals, but they have just a lot of high energy, and even in football, if you remember the Salem Poland game last year in the playoffs, like it was local, but it was like, hey, Poland is the cream of the crop, and here comes Salem, too young, too dumb, they don't know any better right now, and they almost pulled it off, like.
And that's just not boys sports. That's girl. I mean, we saw a great game between Salem and Poland last year. I mean, that's one I would love to see again.
Yeah, I mean, I can say for a fact, like, not only Coach Hamilton but myself, like, not only do we have the highest respect for Coach Blanche, but we love playing Poland. They're a great program, and they make you better. Same with South Range. We love playing against Coach Fish, and his teams are always going to bring it. Like, it's just a good pairing. They're close by. They're all local. I think that's a great little setup right there.
That would be a conference I would put against the MAC, and I know people will say I'm crazy for that, but I would love seeing that.
I mean, you're gonna have to win a couple of state championships before start putting it against the MAC.
I get it, I understand it, but I mean, listen, you got to start somewhere, right? And iron sharpens iron, and you're not gonna beat many teams, when you're beating them up 82-0. That's where I'm at. So
that's true.
What do we got here? If expansion happens, it will require 8 or more schools. A couple of EOAC schools will be a great addition to the MVAC. I think that too. I think that there's room for that, but again, do they need another tier, or I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That's why they get paid the big bucks to do this. We just get to talk about it and have fun with it. Jeffrey, what would you want to see a mega conference or a mega alliance out of high schools?
No, I think it would be bad for high schools. I think it would be bad for like teams like obviously, I'm going to use this team as an example, but like South Range, right? Like, if we would have to go play Poland my senior year, we would have gotten blown out by 50 easily. Because we played Marlington, and Marlington was D3, and they were pretty good. They were really good. But to go play like Salem or Hubbard, go play like Salem or East Canton or South Canton, whatever it is in that conference with them, Canton South. Yeah, like Paul said before, it's just the traveling comes up to be an issue. Like South Range was going to do that conference before they went to the conference they're in now. They were going to go to that one and play football in. And then, the big question from all local South Range people were, well, that's a far travel. And I just think it's not – I don't like it. I think you just stick what you got and hopefully it's good enough.
But if it's a one and one or home and home or whatever you call it, does it matter? Like, each team has to travel. I mean, listen, when I was on the bus, I was never excited to go to Southern or Sebring. No offense. It was just, it took forever to get there on a yellow Twinkie bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of your non-league games. I mean, South Range has Canton Central Catholic on there, so they travel to Canton. I mean, a 1-1, like you said, DJ, that wouldn't be bad if it's one of those first 3 games. But a league, it would be tough as a league. But if it's one of those first 3 games and you say, hey, listen, we're going to cross over and we're going to play these 3, as long as you can pick them. I mean, because when the ITCL was in existence, that was a lot of schools there, and you played this many schools, but your non-league games, they controlled that. It was like a lottery almost. Like they put your schedule up, and then like you had to cross over and play a couple games, and you didn't get to pick them. It was like a randomizer that went through, and it's like, okay, boom, here's these 2 crossover games you have to play. And that's what really upset people, and that's what caused that league to disappear, because you were seeing a Middle Ridge saying, or Lowville going, oh, we got to go to Southern. And they were like, what? We got to, they were those non-league kind of crossover games were so far away, and they're like, we don't like doing this. But if you get to pick them, hey, go pick them. Say, hey, we want you. We want you.
Or if you were a bottom team, you had to go play South Range and then Western Reserve. You were like, oh, this sucks.
Recount. I want to recount.
We shuffle that again and pick again, please.
That happened to Sebring the one year that South Range made a run to the state semifinals, and like they had to go play South Range, and I think the very next game was like Western Reserve. Sebring and South Range played, and Sebring lost like 67-0 against South Range that year at Sebring. So South Range traveled to Sebring.
Wow. Yeah, there's been some blowouts, obviously, and it's all about getting your better teams to be better, but also moving the lower ranked teams to be able to play teams that are similar. And some of these conferences have lower ranked teams, and some of them don't. But I mean, the thing is, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and at the end of the day, people are going to be unhappy one way or the other because they're going to be on the short side of the stick. So. Interesting to talk about. I just want to see if you guys think at all that this is going to affect what's happening in college sports, is going to affect what happens in high schools. It sounds like the general consensus is you don't think it will.
No, I don't think it will.
All right. Well, you know what that leads us to, boys. That's right. It's time for the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark? Brought to you by our friends at Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them over on the web at DickeyElectric.com. Anything commercial, anything residential, anything electrical, visit our friends over at Dickey Electric. Paul, you want to start us off since you're clanging and banging there in the Iron Paradise?
Yeah, sure. A little bit of both, a little positive and a negative. So I'll be the AC, as I've figured out. AC goes both ways, DC goes one way in the power world. The positive spark, school started today. It was great to be back in school, seeing all these guys and girls, back in the classroom and trying to get back to some normalcy. The negative part is that, listen, this crap isn't going away. We've seen some games get canceled, kids going home from school already, and, classrooms trying to get back to normal, and you just can't yet. So kind of sucks, but I mean, it's what we have to live with. It's our world that we are in right now. So just doing the best we can, trying to stay safe. So it was good to be back, but at the same time, kind of going back to what was here before. So it kind of sucks.
This is the best you sounded, Paul. I don't know what computer you're using, but the microphone's outstanding.
Well, all of a sudden, like while I was on mute, the thing popped up and said, "We lost connection with your mic, but it'll be connected again." And now all of a sudden, it works a lot better. So
it's in HD.
Whatever happened? Yeah,
outstanding. All right, Mac, what do you have?
I'm not really sure if this is a positive, negative, AC, DC, but I had an experience last night, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Yes, there happens to be some sort of video. Maybe we'll get around to that another day. But so last night, it was 2:00 in the morning, okay, ish. I'm laying on the couch, and I'm watching Friday Night Lights, okay, the TV series, not the movie. And all of a sudden, I see something flying in my house. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I'm like, so I grabbed this blanket and I grabbed the broom, and for an hour I'm fighting. I got all the windows open, all the doors open, trying to get this damn bat out of my house. And it took me about an hour. So that happened.
Nice. EV?
The negative spark to myself. I owe the Hubbard boys an apology. Your boy, man, your boy ran literally all over, whoever, Waynedale or whoever the hell they played Friday. Norway. I knew there was a Wayne in there. So definitely I owe Jamie Romo a little apology, for doubting what Hubbard could do, because obviously they came out as a well-oiled machine. And look, if you give up 457 yards to one person, like that dude's freaking good. Like he is good, and if he's only being looked at by one major or D1 school right now, like, dude, these other people are sleeping on something special.
Listen, as much as I want him to go and play somewhere else at TC Caffey, I wouldn't mind seeing him in red and white every Saturday at YSU. I think that'd be a nice feather in the cap for Dougie. So,
well, there's going to be tape on that wing tee too now.
Keep sleeping. I will say this, is we have an interview with TC Caffey tonight. Romo's going to have it, so we'll have it turned around for tomorrow morning right here on ysnlive.com. Make sure you don't miss that one, because that's going to be fun to talk to, I'm sure, after a game like that. Jeffrey, go ahead.
Mine is a positive one. Watching Steve. All right, are we done there, child? Are you good? Okay, good job. Are you done there, little kid? But no, I was just watching Steve work yesterday and watching that girl back up into a rock at
pronouns, bud. Pronouns, bud.
I think you just stole Quinn.
She backed up, and all the people are coming in and out, and there was one guy who was just like, "What the is going on here?" I'm like, "Oh boy."
Pronouns. Pronouns. That guy, she, he.
We didn't know their names. To be fair,
do some dude on a bike, like jammed out to music, just had back up his bike.
Anything goes at Coca's. That's the way it goes. Anything goes at Coca's. Quinn, clean that story up.
Yeah, so I got two. One, Ty just saw it goes to this chair. It damn near broke, and I almost fell. So it's holding my fat ass up. So that's one spark. The second one is Steve's professionalism with a lady that hit a rock extremely hard, and not just a rock. It was like a boulder. It was one of those like gardening, landscaping, like decorative rocks, and she nearly ripped off her back bumper because she just drilled it. And Steve didn't miss a beat. He just kept on rolling. Didn't even care.
This is true. Ty.
A couple of positive sparks. One for Quinn. Thank you for the laugh. I really appreciate that one, Quinn. And also just being in studio today, seeing everybody today, and just being back in at East Palestine. It's a bit of a trek from Portage County, but I always love being in studio when I can.
nobody has ever said they're happy to be here. All right, you're happy to be at YSN.
I didn't say I was happy to be in the town. I'm happy to be in the studio. There's
Just a kid from East Palestine, and I'm not always happy to be here. So mine's going to be a positive spark as well. Listen, as much as I love football, I love all these sports. I'm excited. We've got 5 games on the network tonight for volleyball. Can't wait to see soccer as well added to the regime here. Guys, fall sports are back. It's exciting. It's great. 5 games on the network tonight. All of them you can watch absolutely free. And, oh, by the way, because we've been being asked, yes, the rest of the season for free here on YSN. So every regular season game, free! Absolutely free. F-R-E-E. If it's free, it's for me, and now it's for you. So get out there, watch your teams, and support them. If you can go to the games, go to the games. Go to the games and support them. Cheer for them. Be loud. Be proud. But in the stands, you can watch 20-some other games that night. And you can turn on the audible call and watch Mike. And you can watch Steve. And you can watch everybody. So enjoy it. This season is for you. It's for the fans. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's going to do it for this episode of the Power Hour. Join us Wednesday. Scotty will be here in studio tomorrow. So you know that's going to be a wild card, however it goes. There's going to be a good spark going just for that alone. So join us, the rest of the crew here. Ty, I think, will be, I'm sure, on Running Point tomorrow. I think, are you in studio tomorrow as well?
I believe I'll be in studio tomorrow as well. So,
all right,
yeah,
so Ty, live in the flesh, Ty, live in the flesh, not Tive. We'll be here tomorrow, and the rest of us will be here tomorrow as well. And then Thursday, of course, we have YSN Primetime Live right here on the network. Until next time, we'll see you. Wave the damn banner!